company that auditing people will do. So they will dig you the details about your company. Okay, so what is it the CMM level 5 company, and if it is a CMM level 5 company, so are they maintaining their standards as per CMM level 5? Okay, how many projects are there, how they are delivering, in the time or not, and how the uh, facilities are there, all those internal details about your company. So here also the audit transformation, what it will do is, so it will explain the inner details of your packages. Okay, so if you want to add some extra information about your package, we have to go for this audit information. Okay, so let us say, let me pause some source. So whatever it is the source, if you want to add some extra information, okay, about your package, let me take some flat file source. Okay, so let me reuse the existing source connections. So let us say we have some existing source connections are there. So let me go for wedge source 3 or wedge source 2. So this is the existing source connection. Okay, so it is having the 4 columns. Okay, along with these 4 columns, do you want to add some extra information? Okay, my source is ready. Now I will put the source to the audit transformation. So inside the audit, we can go and see that we have some audit type. In this, we have the package name. If you want to include the package name along with the source columns, do you want to know from which package, okay, your SSIS engine is working? Okay, we can include that. And about the machine name, okay, okay, in which machine your SSIS solution is running, and about the username or task name, okay, from which task in that package, from which task, and who is the user, means with which user account your package is running. Okay, and most thing is important one is execution start time. So you want to know, so at what time your package or your task is getting executed. Okay, so that you just want to know how much time, okay, how much time your uh, each task is taking. Okay, or let us say you can include this as, last updated date or last modified date. Okay, so once this package will executed, okay, if you want to add this column as a last updated date, okay, or last modified date or latest modified date. Okay, so if you want to add this as a column, you can go and add like this also. Okay, or you want to know know how much time your task is taking to execute. Okay, how much time your task is taking to execute, you can compare this time with this task value and the next task value. You can compare the difference between the this task start time and the next task start time, and you will get the how much time that each task is taking. Okay, like this. Okay, as per your requirement you can use that columns. Okay, execution start time. If the customer wants, okay, all these details, you can add all these details by using this audit transformation. So up to now we are using the audit as a dummy transformation, but here this is the usage of this audit, and you just want to see the output. So let me take any other transformation. So let me take some character map. Okay, or conditional split also you can take, or let me take any other one. Okay, I just want to see the output of audit transformation. Okay, so now you can see that along with the source columns, so it is seeing the package name, machine name, task name, and the remaining column names. Okay, click on OK. Sorry. data viewer, enable data viewer, click on OK. Okay, like this. Did I execute this? Okay, so now you can see that along with these details, so from which computer your package is running. Okay, my computer name is Balaji-PC. Okay, and which task name and who is the user, and we can see that we can see the package name also. So data flow package it is showing, no, whatever is the package name and at what time. Okay, 2106 at 7:11. Okay, so if you change these package names, let me change the package name before that. So here it is showing it as package name as data flow package and task name as data flow task 4. No, so if you want, you can go and change it and test it. Okay, so let me rename this as task name as, okay, audit task 4. Okay, audit task, and we can change the package name as, if you want, you can go and change the package name as data flow. Okay, instead of data flow task, let me take the data flow package. Okay, so if you want, you can go and change it, and let me go inside. This is my task name, audit task. Okay, okay, it has changed to data flow package. Okay, okay, now let me go and execute this. So whatever the details you have changed, no, so you can see those changes here. Okay, okay, now you can see this is the change in name, data flow package, and you can see audit task. Okay, and who is the user, which user is executing the task, with which user account it is executing the task. You can see that user name. Okay, and the execution time. So if you want to include all these details for your package or for your task, you can go and use this control flow task. Okay, now let me go for next transformation. So for that, let me take the data flow task, and here next one is character map is there. So let me go for this character map. Okay, these are all simple ones. Okay, no need to worry about this character map. So this is very rarely used, or I have not used at all. Okay, so why? Because you can see this is just for converting the case, okay, from uppercase to lowercase and lowercase to uppercase. Okay, so specifically for English language, so this is not at all required. Okay, so now let us go and see if you just want to case conversion. So if you take any source, okay, so let me take some source, let me preview the data. Now you can see this, we have two columns. Okay, so this character map is just for, you can see we have two columns, and for this city column, so you want to convert them into lowercase or uppercase. Okay, so specifically for English language, so only these two options are there, lowercase or uppercase, and remaining and all this is for foreign languages. So for, you can see here, if they want to see their character representation in hiragana format, katakana format, okay, simplified Chinese and traditional Chinese. So these are remaining things are for foreign languages. Okay, but for English we have uppercase and lowercase. Okay, if you select multiple columns also, let me take another source. Okay, so if you try to attend, okay, now you can see on employee city, I will make this as uppercase. Okay, and do you want to add as a new column, or do you want to replace the existing column? Yes, I want to replace the existing column. And here you can go and see employee name. So if you apply remaining thing also, let us say byte reversal. Okay, byte reversal, and let me go for designation. So let me go and take this simplified Chinese or traditional Chinese. Let us see whether they will accept that or not. So in place change and in place change. Okay, in place change means, do you want to add this change as a for the existing column, or do you want to add that change as far as a new column? That's it. Okay, now let me click on OK. Now you can see that, so you can see it is not accepting this another changes. Okay, so it is saying that the byte reversal is not allowed for employee name. So let me make this as new column. Let us see. So it is not accepting that byte reversal change. Okay, so in place change uppercase new column. Let me delete this. Okay, so that byte reversal is not accepting for string columns. So if you apply for salary, let me see for salary whether I can apply the byte reversal. Okay, so now we can see, so this is not acceptable for the English language. That byte reversal command is not acceptable for the English language. Okay, so it is maybe support some for foreign languages but not for English languages. I can go and see. Let me delete this. Okay, now let us see, at least for traditional Chinese we will get the output. I just want to view the output. Okay, so what we are doing, so we are converting the city into uppercase, and designation into traditional Chinese. Okay, so let me go and execute this task. So now you can see that your city value is converted to uppercase, and let me go for designation. So if you can see here, if you apply the changes, it is not affecting the English language. So we have applied the traditional Chinese, okay, but that is not affecting your English language. So but for English language, we have only the, we can convert either into uppercase or lowercase, okay, but this can be done, okay, if you want, you can, this can be done, okay, in the derived column we can convert into uppercase like that, okay, just for character conversion from uppercase to lowercase we have to use this character map. So but this can be achieved in so many ways. So we, inside the derived column we can apply, okay, all those things. So this is for character map. Okay, so let me go for next one more thing. Let me go for data flow task one more time. So here we have, so we have seen the copy column. Now let me go for percentage sample and row sample. Let me cover the simple ones, percentage sample and row sample. Okay, so this percentage sample, what it will do is, okay, so if you want to retrieve a sample data, okay, percentage of data, let us say we have 100 records coming in the source and you want to, okay, uh, retrieve only part of the source data. Let us say 10% of the data, 20% of the data, 30% of the data. But why? Why we will require only 10%? So let us take this scenario like, I have, let us say 10 lakhs of data present in the source, or let us say I have 1 lakh data present in the source, and you are in the testing phase. And for testing your data, for testing your package, do you require all the 1 lakh records? So you have to wait until all the 1 lakh records passes through the source. Then only you can test it. Okay. So let us take any other. Let us see here. If I go for data flow task, okay, or let us say aggregate. So you just want to test your this package, and let us assume this is containing some 1 lakh data or 10 lakh data. Okay, so you want to test it, you can test it only with the simple amount data, no? So you don't want to wait for until all the 10 lakh records reaches your next transformation. You don't need to wait all the next, you have to wait. If you are checking with 10 lakh data, you have to wait until all this source is passed to the next transformation. And this also has to apply on all the 10 lakh records. That aggregate has to apply on all the 10 lakh records. Then only you have, then only you can test. So we need to, but at the testing phase, you don't need to test for entire source data, no? So you can take only part of the data. You can take only 30% of the data and you can proceed with the testing. Okay. So to split the data, okay, based upon your requirement, let us say if you want to split the data, only 10% of source, okay, and you want to test the data only with 10% of the source, then we can use this percentage sample. So this will give us the 10% sample data for my testing purpose. Okay, not the same data. It can give the different data also. Every time you are testing, no, it can give the different data, not the same set of data. Okay. So to separate some sample from the source data, we have this percentage sample. Now let me go and see. So let me take some flat file source. Okay, now let me see, are there any bulk data? Yes, we have bulk text connection is there. Let me preview. So here you can see that it is containing so much of data. Okay, so but in the previous section it will show only the first 200 rows, but actually it is getting more than 200 rows. Now this is your data. Now I want to separate for my testing purpose. I don't want to use all the source data. For my testing purpose, I want to test with only 10% of data. Then what we can do is inside this percentage sample, I can say, let us say 10% or 5% of data. Okay. And what it will do is it will divide the data into two pipelines. One is sample selected output, means only 5% data will come into this sample selected output, and remaining 95% will push into this unselected output, sample unselected output. Okay, so now we can see that. Let me go for this. Okay, sample selected output, and let me move on the remaining 95. Now you can see, suppose if you are using some aggregate function, okay, so you can just pass this 5% of data to your aggregate function to make things faster in the testing phase. Okay, is the aggregate function, you can go and have employee ID or salary. Okay, branch wise. Okay, branch wise salary, count of district is there. I think salary here it is also some string value, branch ID. So all are text values now. Let me take. So if you want, you can apply the data conversion. Let me make it into DTI for 4 bytes and integer. Okay. Now click on OK. So now let us go and see. I will pass this data into this aggregate function, and here I can go for salary by branch wise. So it's not salary. Let me go for copy of salary, sum of salary, group by branch ID. Okay, now what I'm doing is, so I just want to test my aggregate transformation now. Okay, aggregate transformation package. Now in the testing phase, I don't want to test for entire 10 lakh data. I just want to test for only 5% of data to just see whether my package is getting me the correct results or not. Okay, so now you can see that now this aggregate function, okay, will be applied on the just 5% data. Okay, now let us go and see. So now you can see that how many rows are coming here. So from the source, so we have 182 rows are coming in the source, but here you can see it has divided into, so out of 182, 5% rows nearly comes to 12 rows. So it is not exactly 5%, so it is approximately 5%. Okay, and the remaining sample unselected 170 records are there. Now by aggregate function will test only for these 12 rows so that I can fasten up my testing work. Okay, like this. Okay, so if you go and specify, now if I go and run it, execute one more time. So every time it will give us the different data wise dynamically it will pick up. Okay, if you want to check one or two times, you can go and check it. So now you can see that it is giving this what type of data here it is giving. So 127427317. No, now if I execute one more time, so 1271473 some data it has given. No, so now if I execute one more time, so it will give us the different set of data so that the testers also can test with different data. So just to separate some percent of data from your source. Now you can see, so it is giving 15 records 41144543. Okay, like this. Suppose no Krishna, I want to test with the same data, not different data every time. Suppose if you want to, if you need to get the same data every time, what you can do is, so we have this option called use the following random seed. Just to select that option. Okay, once you select that random seed checkbox, what will happen is from now onwards it will give us the same data, same sample data. So now you can see that it is giving us 7 records, so 1811755. So every time from now onwards it will show the same set of data. If you check that checkbox, random seed checkbox, now it will show us that it will give us the same set of data. So now you can see that 181111755. So it will give the same set of data every time. Okay. So if the testers want to test with the same set of data, we can go and select this, use the following random seed option. Okay. Now similarly we have like percentage sample, we have row sample also. So let me go for percentage sample. And we have one more thing called row sample also is there. Let me go for one more data flow task, so which is similar to the percentage sample. So earlier we have specified how much percentage, whether you require 5% or 10% like that, no, but in the row sampling we can specify how many rows you want to see. Okay, let me get the flat file source. Now let me go and get the flat file source, preview the data. Okay, now inside this, let me pass this source data to the row sample. Now inside the row sample we can specify how many rows you want to see, whether you want to see 10 rows or 12 rows or 15 rows. Okay, we can go and specify it. Okay, so sample selected output, and it will divide the data into two pipelines. One is selected output and unselected output. Okay, so now we can go and see this audit transformation. So I'm putting the 15 rows into sample selector output and remaining rows into unselected output. Now let me view this data viewer. Okay, and let us see how many rows we have put. We have put 15 rows. Okay, so every time it will give us the 15 set of data. It will separate the 15 records from the actual data. So earlier we have separated the percentage, we have specified the percentage. Now we have specified the number of rows you want. That's it. Now you can see it has given us the 15 records. It has separated the 15 records. Okay, and every time you will run, you will get the different set of data. And if I run it one more time, so you can see here different set of data will be displayed. And if you want the same data, you can go and check the checkbox. That's it. So now you can see that it is giving us the different set of data. Okay, but you want the same set of data, you can go on just check this option. Okay, use the following random seed. So every time it will give us the same set of data. So now you can see we are getting 3544137. No, so if I execute it second time also, I will get the same data here. So now you can see 3544137. Same set of data will get displayed again and again. Okay. So I will stop now. Okay. In tomorrow class, we'll start with this slowly changing dimension. Okay. Thank you guys. So do you have any doubts in this?
No.
Thank you.